So, right now, well, before I do, I want to say hello to Trex. He's very sick right now. So, we're going to let him go now, I guess. Hey, baby. I love you. I thought I would talk a little bit about relationships. Only because I'm going to admit that I've never been in a healthy relationship. I wouldn't even know what a healthy relationship was if it exploded right in front of my face, which I don't know why that scenario would ever occur. It's just supposed to promote something really dramatic and obvious, but I would never recognize it because I've never been exposed to it. So what I've learned from being in relationships that aren't healthy is quite a few things. Maybe to people who have never been in relationships, or maybe people who are confused by the relationship that they are in, I would like to advise you of some obvious things that I wish were obvious when I was in them, but weren't, to people who were in the same boat I was in. And then so the number one clue, or the number one thing you should look for is when a person is trying to take away your self-respect, or maybe they don't even ever give it to you. Maybe they're testing it. There's so many scenarios that can be played out with with this manipulation or game, or it always goes back to the person who was hurt, and most men, I can tell you, will always have a vendetta against women because there was that one woman during that one time where they once let themselves love and be loved, and they got crushed. And since then, they will never, ever, ever, ever love a woman like they love that woman. Which personally makes no sense to me because it's a contradiction. There's this one woman who crushed your heart, right? This is the beginning when you knew nothing and you were just learning, and this one person was probably in the same situation you were in. So it's not like she had seniority over you, and even if she did, you wouldn't admit it anyways. So you're allowing this woman who crushed your heart to ruin the rest of your relationships because of what reason? And then you're giving her actually the seniority because you're allowing her to control the rest of your relationships. Does that make any sense to you, men? Any sense to you at all? Because it makes no sense to any woman at all. You are so pathetic that you cannot let go of something that first happened to you, like all of us women do. Happens to us all the time. We get heartbroken all the time, and yet we still strive. We're still strong. Woo, go women. We don't give up. Why would you? Because of one person where it didn't work out. Well, here's a newsflash for you, boys and girls. It's not always going to work out your first time. Most likely it won't. And you know what? It shouldn't. Because you need experience. And you cannot love the one person you love to begin with for the rest of your life. It just doesn't work that easily. That's a fairy tale book, and I'm sorry you read that book when you were a child. And you clung to it. That's what I'm really sorry for, is that you can't distinguish it. You cannot distinguish the difference between reality and fantasy. And that's okay, because majority of us do it from many different areas. But point being is, to get back at a woman that hurt you is not to get back at every other woman that comes into your life, because those women didn't do anything to you. And we're not all just a huge group of a pile of one woman. We are separate individuals. We have our own minds. We have our own creativities. We have our own opinions. And we have our own ways that we treat people. We're not all out there to hurt anybody. Actually, none of us are, and I don't even think men are. The only way that men are is because of that one person that hurt them, and they want to get back at them by fucking everyone else over that comes into their life. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But maybe if you understand how that really doesn't work out in the end, and I know it might take you like decades beyond decades beyond decades to get there, why don't we just cut it short and get it to it now? You're not getting back at the woman that hurt your feelings by fucking over every other girl that comes into your life. All you're doing is creating more karma, or, I'm sorry if you don't believe in that, more animosity that's going to attack you eventually and create more horrible situations. And thus far, it's just going to make you look at other women like you hate them even more. It doesn't make sense at all. Why can't you just accept that that person was not meant to be because you were 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever the age was. It wasn't meant to be. And now maybe you found someone that you were meant to be with. Wasn't it totally unnecessary for you to be a dick to all those people in the process before you met that person? And I bet you were even a dick to that person to begin with. Alright, I'm not talking about this anymore because it's a waste of my time.